Hi and welcome to Solutions series. In this episode we're going to talk about home automation and smart solutions. First of all, let's think about what's the smart solutions or what's the smart device. In the market there are a lot of appliances now which be smart, like the washing machine, the dishwasher, the dryer, the fridge, the TV. In order to understand whether this device is really smart or not, we have to check the functionality of the device, because the current convention that they call the device is smart, it relies on whether the device is just connected to the internet as a thing in the internet or not. But whether it is really smart or not, this is a different story. So does it really worth that we spend the extra money in buying a smart appliance which is just connected to the internet? Is it really smart? What is the benefit of having the connectivity with the internet? Actually, most of these devices, the ability to control them from the smartphone or to receive the status of their situation. So let's say for the washing machine, we're gonna have a message saying that the washing cycle is finished, or probably in the middle of the washing cycle we have the ability to check or to control or to change something or to switch it off or on. And this is really useful for some situations, and probably in situations that we are not there in the house. So probably we just want to control it remotely, or probably if the laundry room is far away and we need someone to tell us that the washing cycle finished. But again, is it really worth to pay the extra money for just to have the smart feature? Let's think about this point. Having a smart device, meaning an investment in something, does it really worth that we invest just to have the luxury of receiving notifications or to control it from home? Is it a solution that helps people, or is it just for being lazy, laying on the couch and doing things from the smartphone? We need to think about some situations in order to answer this question. So let's take an example. For the garage door, the regular one, which is the old style, I'm not talking about the new smart controllers, but the regular or the old one is not smart, which means that if I forget to close the garage door in the evening, nobody is gonna tell me, because it's not smart. So I thought about this problem, and I tried to make it smart, but apparently in the market there are few options to make it smart easily. So the procedure that I followed is to combine my existing system with some small pieces and a program that make it smart. So my garage door now is capable of telling me whether the garage door is open or closed, even if I'm far away or even if I'm at another country. And I have the ability to switch it on and off from my smartphone. In addition, I have the ability to program it myself. And what's the benefit of this program? The benefit is my program is telling me in the midnight or in the late hour that the garage door is open. So I'm not gonna go to bed till I close the garage door. It's gonna tell me that it is open, and if I do no action, it's gonna close it by itself. This is what is written in the program. I have added another feature that it's gonna tell me after 1 or 2 hours that the garage door is open. So it's just to remind me, because probably I have done something there and I forgot to close it. And the same for the lights. And the same applies for many things like this. It's not only for the garage door. Let's take another example. Seniors who stay at home alone. For seniors who have some health issues, it's so helpful that we have some type of sensors that tell us that they are moving and they have no problems. So we can be notified whenever there is an emergency, and the emergency depends on how we program these devices. So it's gonna tell me that there is no movement for an hour, for 2 hours, and for sure during the day, probably less movement in the evening, and so forth, which is so helpful. Another application for the smart solutions is the doorbell. The regular doorbell doesn't have any smart feature, but the current doorbell, I'm not talking about every doorbell, but the more advanced ones, they have a camera, they have a two-way communication, and they have an artificial intelligence program that tell us whether a stranger who is coming, if his face is familiar or not. So the system now is smart because it can detect a face. It can tell me that this guy, if he is a familiar face, it's gonna tell me by name that this guy has just arrived. If it is not a familiar face, it's gonna tell me that a stranger is there. If it is a package, it's gonna tell me that this is a package, this is not a person. And whenever he presses the doorbell, I'm gonna have the ability to talk to him. So there is a two-way communication. I can see him, I can talk to him. In addition, let's say if he has something to do inside the house and he just wants someone to open the door for him, I'm gonna have the ability to open the door if I have this smart feature installed on my door, the main door lock. So if I have a smart lock, I have the ability to open the door or to close the door. Another feature which is related to smoke detectors. The regular smoke detectors are not smart, but the new releases, we have some new models which are smart. And what does it mean? It means that whenever there is any problem or there is any smoke at home, I'm gonna be notified on my smartphone that there is an issue at home when I am outside, or probably when I'm traveling. We have to consider these situations in order to decide whether we really need this smart system or not. And the main issue with home automation now is not only to have a smart system or not, but in the variety of systems or devices available in the market now. So whenever we go to the market, we find a lot of these pieces everywhere. The problem is, for each and every piece, we have an application, and the application is supposed to be installed on the smartphone in order to activate the function of this device. Another device requires another application, and so forth. So, is it really practical that we have all of these applications installed on the smartphone in order to do the action or to receive the responses, and we call it a smart system? I don't think so. We have to combine as much as we can into a single application, because it's not only the smartness is not only to have the control or the notification from one device, but the interaction between all of them is more important. So whenever I have a sensor telling me that there is something wrong, I should have the gateway telling me or mediating this status, and then I should have the action to switch on and off some plugs. There are three main protocols used in smart applications. So there is Wi-Fi, Z-Wave, and Zigbee. And the benefit of each one of these three protocols and the disadvantages depends on what you want to do. So you can have a variety of all of them, or probably you're gonna use only one of them. But as I said, the most important thing is to combine all of them into a single application. We're gonna work on some projects, and we're gonna talk about some details about how to do things by ourselves and how to combine things into a small project of home automation, and we can even program it ourselves. So stay tuned with us, and we're gonna talk about these things in the future episodes. Thank you so much. Google, turn on table lamp 1.
Got it. Turning on the table lamp 1.
Google, turn off table lamp 1.
Alright, turning the table lamp 1 off.
Google, turn office lights off. Google, turn office lights on.